Welcome to this week's video. I'm going to be talking about the future of mobility and why we're really hooked on this idea and believe that shared mobility is going to change the way that we're moving in cities. So a little while back I was talking with a friend of mine about our shared mobility business, and he was asking me what happens if people stop using scooters and if the trend just dies down. And that really got me thinking that people are looking at this in the wrong way. It's not about the scooter itself, although it's a fun vehicle and it's good to get around on. It's more about the concept behind it. So the reason it's good is because it's shared and it's not a personal vehicle that you own where you have to worry about how to maintain it, where to keep it, and if it's going to get stolen or not. People don't really see the problem in cities anymore, but cars are taking up way too much space and everything has been built around them. So you've got big roads and then only a small amount of space for pedestrians to walk around. But this isn't really the best way to do things because cars are dangerous, they go really fast, they're bad for the environment, and well, yeah, they take up way too much space. And it's kind of funny that people are sometimes getting annoyed that scooters have been thrown around or aren't really parked correctly, but they're only taking up a really small amount of space. The people aren't really seeing the problem that the cars are in the way and that they're there all the time because you just get used to it. And this is all going to change in the future. We can see in the Netherlands already there's pretty good infrastructure for bikes. It's all protected and they have their own separate space on the road. But these spaces are only going to get bigger. There's going to be less parking spaces in the city. It's going to be extremely expensive to park there. And eventually the cars will just be gone completely. And this is the future that we're working towards. It's the shared future where you no longer own a vehicle, be it a bike or a car. You know that if you're going to go onto the street, there will be a car waiting for you, or a bike, depending on the distance that you're going. And the reason this is the next step is because when you own a car, you're only using it for 5% of the time. The rest of that, it's just parked in your garage or on the road. And this can actually be much more efficient if somebody else were to be using it whilst you're not there. And especially if you don't need to worry about using exactly the same car that you came with. But then if the shared service is good enough and there's enough shared vehicles in the city, you can just use the next closest vehicle which supports your needs. And eventually this is going to turn into the perfect service. So currently it's kind of like a prized possession to have a car, and it's something that people are aspiring for, but in the future this will be completely different. It will be much more convenient to be using shared vehicles. They'll be better than any vehicle that you can afford on your own, and they'll be kept in better condition even. But it's all a matter of time, and these are just the first steps to getting there. So yeah, with this whole business of Bondi and shared scooters and shared bikes, this is us trying to kind of change that mindset of having to own your own vehicle, which is also bad for the environment, and showing you that smaller vehicles are much more convenient, actually better and quicker usually for getting around in the city. And again, this is much better for you at the end of the day because you don't need to worry about where am I going to park my car, do I need to fuel it up. This is all done then by the operator, in this case by Bondi. So we'll charge the vehicle for you, it will be completely maintained for you, and yeah, so it's actually better for the end user, which is yourself. And on top of that, it's also better for the environment because it's electric and you're not driving around a 5-seater car with only one person. That was kind of my attempt at explaining exactly why I really believe in shared mobility and why we as Bondi are working towards introducing shared mobility systems. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it helped you see that this is the future and maybe made you not thinking about owning your own vehicle in the future. But yeah, that was it for today. So as always, please subscribe and like the video, and I will see you in the next one.